This episode of the Marketing That Works podcast is brought to you by Anchor. If you haven't heard of Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast, period. Let me explain. It's what I make this podcast on. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many, many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm today to get started. I'm Drew Bedard, and this is Marketing That Works, a podcast about the tools, tips, and tactics that business owners and marketers need to wow their customers and grow their profits. Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. Going old school today. Going to do this from the car with my beautiful iPhone microphone. See, podcasters, you can do it from just about anywhere, and you don't have to, the excuses don't have to hold you down. But thanks again for listening to the Marketing That Works podcast. Thanks to everybody who shared the show recently, all the great interviews we've had recently, Shep Hyken, Roger Dooley, and others. It's been a true pleasure to have all the different guests on the podcast, and they've been sharing it, and it's helped the growth of the podcast. So sharing is caring. I appreciate it, everybody. And if you'd share this message with one person today, that would mean the world to me, maybe over Twitter or Instagram stories or anywhere, text message, anything like that. So today I just want to talk about a tactical element, which is multi-streaming. So a question came up yesterday about what's really good social media right now. What's really good organic social media? As most of us know, you're being throttled on social media on just about every platform that you're on. And a lot of it, to get truly big numbers, it's a pay-to-play game. So you got to pay Facebook, you got to pay Instagram, you got to pay Twitter, you got to pay TikTok now has, their advertising product. So you gotta pay to play. But the question came up again yesterday: what's really good? What's organic social that gets a giant reach? Well, the two top answers are video, and then the number one. So that's number two is video, and number one is live video. Okay, so first and foremost, if you're going to make an impact on organic social, if you don't have the money to pay to play, if you can't put money behind boosted posts and sponsored posts, then you've got to look at number two, video, number one, live video. And let me give you guys a tactic today to increase even your live video reach. So when you look at live video, most people are using one platform. So they're using, most likely, Facebook Live. Facebook Live has the greatest reach of any of the live platforms, and I could tell you that statistically. I've looked at all of them. We've done different broadcasts over YouTube, Twitch. Now, if you're on Twitch and you have a long history there and you have an audience that has followed you, then there could be huge numbers on Twitch. And now LinkedIn is growing their live product, and that's going to be growing. But when you look at across the landscape, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter/Periscope, because you kind of have to run it through Periscope and then it goes to Twitter still, Facebook and LinkedIn. So when you look at, and Instagram Live, when you look at all those live products, there's probably no greater reach than Facebook Live. So if you're going to do one, do Facebook Live. Now, here's a way to exponentially grow your live video viewing, and that is multi-streaming. Multi-streaming through a product that we use both at Bristol Motor Speedway and I have friends who use this, is Restream.io. Restream.io. And if you use Restream, very simple, very intuitive. What it does is it can take, you set up a few settings from whatever camera or streaming device that you're using, and you can multi-stream out your broadcast. So let me give you an example. We broadcasted a podcast yesterday from Bristol Motor Speedway, and normally we would have done that just probably straight through Facebook Live, and we had great views through there. It was probably the highest channel. It was the highest channel, excuse me. I'll give you facts and not probably or fluffy stuff. It was the highest view channel. But we broadcasted it through from a Mevo Plus unit through Restream. So if you have a Mevo unit, you could download the Mevo app on either iPad or iPhone. Then you set up an RTMP, which is in the Restream system. This is all easy stuff. It's all step-by-step stuff that you do, and you punch all this stuff in. Then you go live, and once you do that, what I was looking at yesterday was a panel of all 4 channels. So we were streaming to Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube simultaneously, and we got 1,800 minutes in watched minutes or whatever it was. So it was a large number, but you got to think, if we had only done that on Facebook Live, our reach would have, it probably was half of the total reach. But then again, it's only half of the total reach of being able to multi-stream. And then, hopefully LinkedIn has a 6-week process right now to get up on their live feed. And then Instagram Live, I hope, will be like Facebook Live at some point, where you can patch it in and you could be able to multi-stream to Instagram. Right now, it is just through your phone. So the lesson, the tactic today is look at a multi-streaming product. So Restream is the one I recommend. There's also, I think there's one called Boxer or Boxcaster, and then there's Caster, which is CASTR. That's another one. But all you would have to do is Google multi-streaming today, and you're going to get several options, great options, because there's several out there, of ways that you can take a single feed from a camera, from a streaming device, and be able to multi-stream it out. So everybody take a look at that today. It's a way to exponentially grow your live video organic reach. Now, and again, if you were gonna ask me today, how do you get the most reach on organic social? Number 2 is video. Number 1 is live video. That is the best way to get organic reach. So give that a try today and look at multi-streaming, because then you can get more bang for your buck. Hopefully this is valuable to you. Hope you have a great day. Thanks again for listening to the show, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you for listening to the Marketing That Works podcast. To find out more and to get the show notes and everything that's going on, go to marketstreet.media. That's where I house this wonderful podcast on the Market Street Media Podcast Network. So thanks, check it out, and we'll see you on the next episode.